Alright, good morning. This is a video about replacing the water pump in your Hessaire what model is this? MC37 or 37V. Anything with the 37 in it should be the correct procedure. The reason I replaced the pump is mine was making some noises when you would start it up. It would make a kind of a grinding, scratchy noise or whatever. So I pulled it out. In order to get into this thing, you have to remove these two screws from the back. The plate that's in there has to be pulled down, and actually, it needs to be pushed up and then tilted out and then pulled down. It engages with these hooks on the side. Inside, you will find these pads. The one in the back, which is wider than the other two, is just stuck in there. The ones on the side are held in with these deals and these little screw-on devices, as you can see there. Now, I kind of did mine the hard way. I didn't realize that these come out, so when I undid it, I just kind of carefully pulled it out without destroying the material too much. But what I found is that you can unscrew these a bit, and then if you push hard, the back piece will come out, and then you can remove this piece completely, and then with a pair of pliers you can gently but authoritatively pull this out. And there's space for 4 of them, but they only use 2. Once you get that out, you can see the pump is down there. This is the new pump, and you can see how it runs up and into a box on the top. The pump is held in with 2 screws. I would recommend removing this screw completely, and on the other side just loosening it, because if you remove the other one, it's kind of difficult to get it back in. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. Let's see. In order to unplug the pump, you have to remove this plate, and the latches for that are approximately 1.5 inches, 2 inches in from each edge. You have to get something thin down in there and pry it, and it should pop out. Once you do that, you can carefully unplug this connector. It's not the easiest thing to unplug. You have to push on this middle piece and then pull it apart. Don't worry about the color coding of the wires. My old one was white, green, and black. This one is brown, yellow, and blue. Doesn't matter. Once you've got this in place, you can push that back in. Putting it back together is just a reverse process. Put the pad in, put these in, put these to screw it in, put the back pad on, and close it back up. What I would recommend is, while you've got this thing open, is just for future I recommend you put a little dab of oil in here and then check how this moves. It should move very freely, even with the slight breeze. That usually means that it has a ball bearing and it doesn't have the permeable bronze bearings of most fans and doesn't really need to be lubricated. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I'm sure the guy with the blower could answer. I ordered my replacement. I got my replacement pump at Ace Hardware. You can get them online, but be very careful. I initially ordered some online, thought I was getting a deal, and ended up that they had described them wrong, and I had gotten one for a smaller unit. It is possible to repair these somewhat or service them if you can carefully pry this open. This front piece will come off. Inside you will find a round piece that if you carefully pry it, you can pull that off. And then inside that you'll see a white impeller fan, and behind it are two screws. You can remove the fan, or remove the impeller and pull out the armature. You can check in to see if it's been leaking inside. If it hasn't been leaking, you can clean out any dust or whatever might be in it, and put a drop of oil on the bearing in the back, or the bushing in the back, and one on the front, and give the armature, which is gray, a very light film of oil. I recommend a non-detergent sewing machine oil or Zoom spout, but in a pinch you can use any oil, it doesn't matter. If you do that, you might be able to get a little bit more out of these. I'm going to save this one. It's running smoother, but I figured since I've already got it open, I might as well put a new one in. The other thing you want to do is, when I opened mine up, it was full of dirt. Not a lot, but it's full of dirt, and I rinsed it out. You never want to leave these full of water. You want to, after you use it, you want to drain all the water out. The reason for that is if you keep it full of water, your water will build up so much minerals in it that it will start to cake the pads with minerals, and they will clog up. It can also clog up the motor, and it's just not a good idea. So drain it after every use, and if you want to, they have this stuff that you run through it that removes the scale. You can use that too. Thanks for watching.